To score the touchdown unless Colton Beck can get the receiver. Ball's loose.
Blacksburg has got the ball.
And Camden Wise is the place kicker, and he is about ready to get it kicked off. And this second round game is about to get underway, guys. This is what it's all about, playoffs football.
This is what it's all about. Here we go as Camden lines up.
Kicking from our right to left, Camden Wise puts his foot into it. It will be caught at about the 3-yard line. Taking it upfield into the center of the field is the EC Glass returner up to about the 30-yard line. That was returned by Drayshawn Kendrick, and Blacksburg will go on defense.
Yeah, it's a pretty good little pickup right there. Gets it up to, like you said, almost the 30-yard line, and good field position for the Hilltoppers as they begin the game.
Blacksburg in its home uniforms, yellow pants, blue jerseys, yellow numbers bounded in white, the blue helmets with the distinctive Boston Red Sox letter B. Glass moving from our left to right. They put 3 receivers to the far side, 2 to the near side, empty backfield, man in motion to the far side. The quarterback McCollum drops, throws, wants to hit his target along the side, and that target has it. That was John Mark Heaton, one of the other receivers for which we do not have a height or a weight. There's about a dozen players that we did not get a height and weight from the school, but that is a first down up to about the 48-yard line.
He's a pretty good-sized young man. I mean, I would say he's probably at least 6'3", and basically quarterback just threw it up for grabs, and he was able to pull it down there.
Triplets again to the far side, 2 to the near side. Empty backfield. McCallum throws. This time it's off the fingertips of Heaton on a slant pattern at about the 45 of Blacksburg.
Good coverage right there by Noah Ramsey. Nowhere to allow him to go, and we got the pressure coming, and he had to get rid of it quickly.
2nd and 10 for the Hilltoppers. This time they will put Patterson behind and slightly to the left of the quarterback McCallum. 3 receivers to the far side, 1 to the near side. Handoff to Patterson. He goes into the middle, bounces over the initial contact, and gets up to midfield for a gain of 2.
Good job there. I think the initial contact came from Chase Orndorff, and then it looked like it was cleaned up by Tyquest Terry.
That makes it 3rd and 8. The ball is right at the midfield stripe, the nose of the ball just touching it. 3 receivers again to the far side, a single receiver to the near side. Patterson is to the right of the quarterback McCallum. He takes a 2-step drop, has time, throws, almost intercepted. Cole Epperly had it, but it does force a 4th down.
That was close. It was in his hands. Couldn't quite come up with it right there, but as you said, brings up a big 4th down.
And the Blacksburg defense, which was nothing short of sensational last week, forces the Hilltoppers into punt formation. Although right now they do not have a punter, it appears, on the field. Now here comes the punter running in. He didn't get the memo that it's 4th down. He is now back in punt formation. He wears number 89. We do not have an 89 on our roster. His kick is away. It's going to hit just shy of the 20, pop straight up, and it's going to be downed by Joseph Taylor at about the 23 or 24.
Good field position right here for the Bruins to start off. Great job by the defense. Gave up the one big play, but after that, it was sort of lights out for them.
The officials will mark it at the 22, so that will be a 28-yard punt for the Hilltoppers, and Blacksburg's offense will put it in play. Babcock and Terry to the near side. Coffey to the far side. Logan Hudson is the H-back. Colton Beck to the right of the quarterback, Grant Johnston, and now Beck will split out wide into a slot position. Snap back. Johnston wants to throw it. Has time. Good protection. Goes deep. Has Colton Beck, and just over his head by about a yard or so at about midfield.
Yeah, just a little bit out of Colton's reach right there. Pretty good coverage by the Hilltoppers.
And it's going to be a key tonight, Brad. The Blacksburg offensive line gave Grant Johnston time for that route to develop.
They did. I mean, they did a great job right there. And, the Hilltoppers had good coverage, but I think that Colton could have came up with that catch, but just a little bit out of his reach.
And Colton comes back, gets a hand slap from Grant Johnston as if to say, just led you a little too much, buddy. We'll get him. Same formation. Terry and Babcock to the near side, Coffee to the far side. Terry goes in motion. He has the handoff, wants to go on a jet sweep. Caught up along the line of scrimmage. He'll get nothing on that particular play.
Yeah, not a lot of room right there for Ty Quest. He was trying to be patient right there and try to find the hole to cut through, but that defensive group of the Hilltoppers was doing a good job of containment, not allowing him to find that space.
3rd and 10 for Blacksburg. The ball at the Bruins 22. They would like to get some sort of yardage here to not start getting in a field position battle with the Hilltoppers.
Yeah, I think this is really a pretty crucial down right here.
And a little bit of confusion. Looks like the officials are calling timeout is the signal that I saw.
Kicking Coffee off.
Looks like it may be an equipment issue with Thomas Coffey.
I think it's probably because of his pads being pulled up over his knee.
And Noah Ramsey.
I think that's something that that they are sort of working on here.
They've been watching that pretty closely all season long. Logan Hudson goes out. It will be Noah Ramsey and Josh Van Gelder to the far side. Again, it is Terry and Babcock to the near side. Beck to the right of Johnston. Beck stays in the block. Johnston flushed, and he's going to be sacked down at the 11-yard line. The official spotting it on the near side at the 13, but Blacksburg goes the wrong way and will have to punt.
Yeah, it could have been close to a face mask right there. They had Grant right up around the head when they took him down, but no call on the play. But good defensive stand right there by the Hilltoppers.
So Cameron Wise will be a couple of steps in the Blacksburg end zone when he receives the snap from, it looks like it is Noah Ramsey. We thought maybe Craig Weaver would be in long snapping. Here's the kick. It's a low wobbly kick. It bounces at the 39, and it's going to roll dead finally at the 44. So a 31-yard punt by Camden Wise, and the Hilltoppers have very good field position to start their second offensive series.
Yeah, definitely good field position here for EC Glass. What we've got to find a way to do here is flip this field position.
So 1st and 10 for the Hilltoppers from the Blacksburg 44, moving from our left to our right. The Hilltoppers in all white uniforms. They have blue numerals, and their helmets are blue with a script word glass on the side. They put twins on both sides of the field. And the quarterback now stops, pauses, looks to his sideline. The running back, Tyquarius Foster, shifts to the left side of the quarterback, and we're going to have a delay of game penalty, I believe.
Yeah, that's going to be that'll help the Bruins right here. It's going to bump them back close to midfield. I think there was a little bit of confusion there on EC Glass's part. They looked like they had the play called, and then there was some changes there.
And now it looks like they're waving the penalty off. And one of the coaches for Glass was along the sideline. It looks like they called timeout before that penalty was called. We'll take a brief timeout as well. No score, 9-12 remaining in the first quarter. From Blacksburg's Bill Brown Stadium, you're listening to Bruins football on Mix 100.7.
I drive because the hours are flexible.
I drive because the money is great.
I drive for BT, you can too.
Back at Bill Brown Stadium after a quick timeout. The Hilltoppers again put twins on either side of the line of scrimmage. The ball's on the near side hash mark, the nose right at the Blacksburg 44. It is a single running back, slightly to the left and about 2 yards behind the quarterback, Matt McCallum. Here's the handoff, and no room to run whatsoever. The Blacksburg defense there looked like Josh Van Gelder, one among many Bruins participating in that tackle.
Yes, good job there. Looked like Van Gelder, Epperly, as well as Tim Sawyer's in on the tackle.
They will give the runner credit for a single yard. 2nd and 9 from the 43 of Blacksburg. Twins again on either side of the line of scrimmage. Quarterback now takes a few steps to the sideline. Gets the play from the offensive coordinator. Snap back, Blacksburg blitzing. Here is a pass deflected nicely by Tim Sawyers. That was a pass in the flat to the running back, and he had room to go, but it was broken up nicely by Sawyers to prevent a big gain.
That's every defensive lineman's dream right there. I mean, Timmy almost came up with that one.
That will make it 3rd and 9 for EC Glass from the Blacksburg 43. Triplets in the boundary on the near side, a single receiver to the far side. The running back is to the left of the quarterback, who moves his feet early. No call. Here is a pass, and it is broken up nicely. Blacksburg's defender was in front of the receiver, Camden Wise, and they're going to call interference.
It should be interference against EC Glass. They're the one that had a hold of Camden Wise there. We'll see what the call is here.
If that is defensive pass interference, that's,
wow.
Oh my goodness. Well, folks, if you were here at the stadium, you would witness one of the worst calls we've seen all season long. That was horrendous.
That's a poor call right there. I mean, the receiver had a hold of Camden, was pulling his jersey. There's no way that could be defensive interference.
Well, the officials are saying that Camden Wise's jersey interfered with the fist of the Hilltoppers receiver. Wow. Twins on both sides. 1st and 10, Glass from now the Blacksburg 28-yard line. Again, the ball's on the near side hash mark. A single running back to the left of the quarterback, Matt McCallum. He hands it off inside, and the running back is going to be brought down after a gain of maybe 8 yards.
Good job there by the defense, sort of noticing that right there.
Looked like that was maybe Gideon Driscoll in on that tackle.
I think so. I tell you what, that defensive line, Chase Orndorff, Gideon Driscoll, Tim Sawyers, I mean, they are playing lights out. They have all season, but they've really cranked it up a notch the past 2 weeks.
2nd and 9 from the 22. 3 again in the boundary to the near side, single receiver far side. A quick attempt by the quarterback to hit one of his receivers. It's actually the tailback coming out of the backfield, Thomas Patterson, and he's brought down very close to the line of scrimmage. He didn't gain anything.
No, I tell you, the Blacksburg sent the pressure there. Epperly came off of the corner and had the quarterback in his grasp, but he was able to flick the ball loose, but wasn't able to pick up any yardage. Brings up a 3rd and long here for EC Glass.
3rd and 10. The ball this time is on the far side hash mark. They put Twins on either side of the line of scrimmage. It is Patterson in the backfield with McCallum, who turns to his left, looks to the Glass sideline, gets the play call, surveys his receivers. And in motion to the far side is Alexander. And here is a pass deep, receiver open, and it is dropped in the end zone. That was John Mark Heaton along the sideline in the end zone, well defended, and it brings up 4th down.
It's a good throw there by McCallum, and fairly good coverage by Noah Ramsey, also coming over on at Brian Mitchell. Just sort of went through the hands of John Mark Heaton.
And there is no indication whatsoever of a field goal. EC Glass going for it on 4th and 10 from the Blacksburg 23. An early big play in the game with 7:06 remaining in the first quarter. Here's the quarterback throwing. Had a receiver open over the middle. It bounces off of the hand of Drayshawn Kendrick, and Blacksburg takes possession.
I tell you what, the Bruins are lucky right there because he was open on that slant route. The throw was just a little bit behind him, and he wasn't able to pull it in, and it's going to turn the ball over on downs to the Bruins, and gets us a little bit out of the deep territory. So we're up at the 20, it's like the 28-yard line, I believe.
Ball's really between the 27 and the 28. We'll go ahead and claim the 28. We'll claim territorial rights.
Absolutely.
It is our stadium.
Absolutely.
We'll take that half yard. It is Van Gelder and Coffey to the near side of the field. Terry in the slot, and Babcock to the far side of the field. Beck to the right of Johnston. No score, 7:03 remaining in the first quarter. Johnston drops, has time, throws, over the middle, has Van Gelder, over the 45, over midfield, over the 45, breaks another tackle, over the 35, and down to the 30.
That's a senior right there that doesn't want his season to end tonight. Great pitch and catch right there. Grant Johnson hit him right in stride, and then Josh Van Gelder did the rest on his own, and he's not going to go down with one arm.
A 42-yard catch and run by Josh Van Gelder. And Blacksburg has it now at the EC Glass 30. Twins to both sides. Colton Beck has not had a carry yet. Now he does, and he bounces his way, spins, and will pick up about 3 down to the 27.
Yeah, good little pickup right there. Not a lot of room, but he was able to pick up a few with extra effort.
2nd and 7. Scoreboard says 2nd and 8. We're going to call it 2nd and 7. Terry and Babcock to the far side. Again, Van Gelder and Coffey to the near side. Beck to the right of Johnston. He looks to the sideline to get the play from the Bruins offensive brain trust. Has the snap, straight drop, has time. Now rolling to his right a little bit, has a lot of room out there if he wants to run it, but he's going to throw it complete to Drew Babcock. And that's going to be, I believe, a Fisher Law Firm first down.
Yes, it looks like a good first down right there. Good job by Grant Johnson. He had some room to run, but he was patient right there coming out of the pocket, and he saw Babcock and was able to hit him.
That play looked like it was going to be a success either way, if Grant Johnston took off or if he threw it, and he did throw it complete.
Well, they're double covering Ty Quest, but if you look over here at Josh Van Gelder, he's in single coverage, and there's no one in the middle of the field. So a post route will work, or a slant right here.
I believe you're absolutely right, Brad. A skinny post right now just might get the job done. Twins to both sides of the field. Snap back. Johnston again has time. Throws. Penalty flag. Stops the play. And let's see if it is motion against Blacksburg or offside. Actually a neutral zone infraction against the Hilltoppers. Motion Blacksburg.
Going to move us back 5 yards.
Andy, we just went dead.
All right, fans, if you are the driver of a silverish Ford truck license plate CV 6664, your lights are on in the parking lot. Not sure which one. If you drive a silverish Ford truck, might be one. Who knows? Your license plate reads CV 6664. Your lights are on.
We just. What's that? Restart the Marty. All right. We're not hearing anything. Okay. We apologize for temporary technical difficulties, and while we were away, it was a touchdown pass for Blacksburg to take a 7-0 lead.
It was a strike. Grant Johnson to Thomas Coffey, 22-yard touchdown reception.
Well, I'll tell you what, if we lose power every time Blacksburg scores, we can lose power a lot tonight, and that'll be just fine. Camden Wise with the extra point attempt. No, check that. It is not Camden Wise. That is Chaz Sheeler with the extra point attempt, and it is good. Blacksburg takes the lead. 7-0 with 4:32 remaining in the first quarter. You're listening to Bruins football on the Mix 100.7.
72-yard drive takes 2 minutes and 3 seconds off the clock before Johnson finds Coffee in the end zone. Blacksburg leads it here, 7-0.
And on the kickoff, it was a low liner kick from Camden Wise, and it just hit the pylon, and that will be a touchback. That was very close to being out of bounds, but fortunately for Blacksburg, a nice bounce.
Yeah, great bounce right there for Camden. It hit just exactly where you want it to hit, right on the pylon, so it's going to be a touchback, and EC Glass will get the ball at the 20.
Blacksburg leading by the score of 7-0. Grant Johnston to Thomas Coffey touchdown pass, while we were without power momentarily, gives Blacksburg a 7-0 lead. Triplets to the far side of the field, which is the left side for the Hilltoppers. They're moving from our left to right. They put a man in motion. That's Alexander to the far side. McCallum has time, throws out in the flat, and it's going to be a shoestring tackle of the running back who got the pass out in the flat. It looked like it was Drew Babcock that got the tackle.
Yeah, great job there by Babcock coming up and playing his position and hitting him and holding on.
I don't know what he was holding on to there, Brad. It must have been a shoestring because we saw almost all of the receiver. But Drew Babcock holds on, and it brings up 2nd and 11. Motion to the near side. Here's McCallum throwing quickly to the left side, and it is a tunnel screen to Travell Alexander. He'll get it up to about the 26 or 25. Let's see where they spot it.
Yeah, it's a pretty good pickup right there. Looks like it's up to about the 25.
About halfway in between, it looks
yeah.
like. The 25 and the 26. Triplets to the near side. Twins to the far side. Empty backfield for McCallum. He will now pause, look to his sideline, surveys his receiving core and his offensive line. A little bit of discussion between himself and Justin Barnett. One of the wide receivers, man in motion, comes to the near side. That is Deshaun Kendrick. Pass over the middle, broken up by Blacksburg.
Good job there by Camden Wise. Great coverage. Was able to knock it away. Going to bring up a 4th and 4 here, and looks like the punt team's coming on for EC Glass.
And that is very good news for Blacksburg fans. This Blacksburg defense bent a little bit on an earlier possession by the Hilltoppers, but they did not break, and on that particular play, they force a 3 and out.
Got Terry and Beck back deep.
Here is the punt. It's away. It's going to bounce at about the 44, and Colton Beck picks it up and probably regrets that he did. He went backwards about 3 or 4 yards. And Blacksburg will put it in play at about the 33-yard line.
Yeah, I think Colton probably thought that he could catch it there off the bounce and get something, but really good coverage there by EC Glass and the Hilltoppers. Ended up losing a little bit of return yardage there on that particular one.
When you've got the speed of a Colton Beck, you've got to think you can break it anywhere on the field.
Absolutely, and he can. He can.
Noah Ramsey is inside of Thomas Coffey on the near side of the field. Tyquest Terry to the far side of the field, and now Beck will get into the slot position as well. Babcock is the slot receiver on the far side. He has his hands up as if to say, what are we doing? Now he's got the play. Now Tyquest has the play. He's outside of Babcock. Here's the snap back. Pass complete. Well, it was almost complete, and it looks like it's intercepted on a deflection. The ball went off the hands of Thomas Coffey, and it was intercepted by Travell Alexander at the 44 of Blacksburg.
It looks like there's penalty flags down, but I think it will be against the Bruins. I think they have an ineligible downfield.
That is the call. It, of course, will be declined by EC Glass. And so the Blacksburg defense, who did a nice job keeping EC Glass in punt formation, now we'll have to go right back out on the field again, Brad. That's a little bit demoralizing.
Well, it is, but, the good thing is it wasn't but 3 plays, so, it's not like they're wore out right now.
Triplets to the far side, a single receiver to the near side. Patterson is to the right and about a yard or 2 behind McCallum. He gets the carry, and he's going to be brought down after a gain of about 2. Check that was Tyquarius Foster.
Yeah, good job there. Looked like Cole Epperly coming up from that inside backer position to make the tackle on that play. He's able to pick up a couple yards on the carry.
We have a Tyquest. They have a Tyquarius. Triplets to the far side. And there is motion up front. Looked like Tim Sawyers anticipated the snap and went into the neutral zone, and that will move the ball 5 yards closer to the Bruins goal line.
Yeah, that's hard right there. You know, the ball's right in front of them, so you got to be smarter than that. I know we're aggressive and we want to get in there quick, but you can't go until the ball moves.
2nd and 8 just became 2nd and 3. Triplets to the far side, single receiver, near side. Here is the handoff again. It is Foster. He plunges ahead, and it looks like he'll be close to a first down. It will depend on the spot. Looks like maybe he's a foot short from here.
Looked like Chase Orndorff in on the tackle there, as well as Cole Epperly.
They're not calling it a first down yet.
Looks like they're going to measure here.
We haven't seen too many of those this year.
No, but I'm glad that they're doing it. This is good. You know, you're in a second-round playoff game, and you need to do those things because football is a game of inches, and it can change one way to another.
So the chain gang makes its way across the field. And I'm going to predict, Brad, this one is ever so slightly short. Let's see.
Short by an inch or two.
Well, that's what I get for making predictions.
Yeah, it looks
it's
like
about
they're
an
gonna
inch
give
or
it to
two to the benefit of the Hilltoppers.
Well, that's unfortunate for the Bruin defense, but, you know, it was close.
5-yard penalty certainly did not help. That gives a fresh set of downs to the Hilltoppers. They are at the Blacksburg 39-yard line, 7-0. Blacksburg leading, 2:27 remaining in the first quarter. McCallum has 2 receivers to both sides of the field. They have a tight end this time. We haven't seen that look yet. McCallum gets his feet set. Man in motion to the far side. He gets the handoff on a jet sweep and gets a good block, gets the first down and more inside the 20 down to about the 18-yard line of Blacksburg. That play, Brad, sprung by a nice block.
Yeah, it's a great block right there. And the running back did a good job. You know, Barnett did a great job of sort of following his blocks.
So the Hilltoppers are now in the red zone for the first time tonight at the Blacksburg 17-yard line. They put twins on either side. The single running back is Tyquarius Foster. He is to the right side of McCallum, who has the snap, quick throw, and the pass is caught, but immediately he is going to be tackled, he being Travell Alexander. It looked like Drew Babcock and Noah Ramsey in on that one, Brad.
Yeah, terrific job right there. They're not giving them an inch right there.
Call it a gain of, well, the scoreboard says just 1, so we'll say that. I was going to say 2. We'll call it a gain of 1. Triplets to the far side, a single receiver to the near side. Foster in the backfield. McCallum turns, looks to the sideline, gets the play. Foster switches to the left side of the quarterback. Blacksburg showing blitz. Here's the handoff. Foster will have a carry down to about the 11, maybe the 10.
Good job there by Josh Van Gilder coming from the backside to make that tackle. But not before he gets a little bit of a surge right there. Brings up 3rd and 4.
A big play for the Bruins defense here. 3rd and 4 from the Blacksburg 10. Triplets to the far side. Single receiver to the near side is Heaton. It is Foster in the backfield with McCallum. McCallum looks to the sideline. He doesn't have the play call down yet. Hilltoppers are close to running out of time, and they're going to have to call a timeout.
Looks
Well,
like a
the
delay of game.
officials say they did not get the timeout in time, so it's a delay call.
So that's going to bump them back to 3rd and 8. That's a huge penalty right there. You know, it's 3rd and 3, moves them back to 3rd and 8. That's a huge penalty.
And the coaching staff on the far side not too upset. It looked like they were thinking about calling a timeout. They apparently did not pull the trigger. So it's 3rd and 8 from the Blacksburg 15. The ball actually between the 15 and the 16. Triplets to the left. Single receiver right. Straight drop by McCallum. Looking, throws over the middle. Intercepted by Drew Babcock at the 8. and he's going to be brought down at about the 18. A penalty flag comes in at the end, but Blacksburg has thwarted it.
That's actually number 7,
Was it
Josh
Van
Van
Gelder?
Gelder on the interception right there for the Bruins.
Ah, okay. Josh Van Gelder with the interception. Well, the good news is Blacksburg has the football.
Defense made the stop that they needed to right there.
And we mentioned before the game that touchdown to interceptions ratio by McCallum, not too stellar whatsoever. That's his 13th interception of the year.
Looks like it was a block in the back on the return there, so it's going to move the Bruins back. But nevertheless, we have the football and they do not.
So Blacksburg's defense bends a little bit, does not break, comes up with the big play, forces the turnover, the first turnover of the game. And that will bring, I believe, once this gets sorted out, Brad, that'll be the end of the first quarter.
The hole was at the 17, so it should be half the distance, so it should be at the 9.
Markoff will be half the distance to the goal. The line of scrimmage was between the 17 and the 18, so half the distance to the goal. That will bring the first quarter to a close. Blacksburg leads it by the score of 7-0. You're listening to Bruins Playoff Football on Mix 100.7. We begin the second quarter of play and a score update, Brad, from Danville.
From Danville. It looks like Salem's in the lead. 3:44 to go in the first quarter. 14-0 is the last updated score that I have seen.
Here is Blacksburg with the unique single file pre-snap formation. They now break, and it will be Drew Babcock in the H-back position, along with 2 others. This is Tyquest Terry running the Wildcat formation. And Terry takes it around the left side, over the 15, gets a good block, over the 20, 25, 30, and he's still going. He's going to go perhaps all the way, has a couple of white jerseys to beat, and he'll be tackled at the 28 of EC Glass. Another big play from number 6.
Great job right there, and just seeing the maturity in Tyquest Terry right there. In that direct snap, he was patient. He let his blockers get out in front of him. And then the next thing you know, he takes it down. He almost took it to the house. He was trying to wait on one more blocker down here at the end, but they had pretty good pursuit on him and was able to bring him down.
A 64-yard gain, same formation. Terry in the backfield, and he's going to keep it again, and this time not so much yardage. In fact, he may do well to get back to the line of scrimmage. May have picked up a yard.
Yeah, they had it pretty well sniffed out that time.
Tyquest Terry now will come to the sideline and get a breather. Grant Johnston's going to come back into his usual position in the shotgun. Noah Ramsey comes in. He goes to the far side of the field. It's another double H-back look. Hudson and Babcock. The running back is Colton Beck. Coffey, the receiver. Here's Colton trying to find some room, but he is bottled up pretty nicely by the Glass defense. Does get a gain of about 3, bringing up second. Check that, 3rd and 7.
I tell you what, that's a good hard run right there by Colton Beck. I mean, he was really getting after it and was able to pick up some positive yardage. Brings up 3rd and 5 here for the Bruins.
Same formation with the double H-back look, a single receiver on either side. Handoff, Colton Beck, and Colton is not going to get there. It looks like he's going to be about a yard short on a gain of 4.
Yeah, just a little bit short, but it looks like the Bruins are going to go for it here on 4th down.
Blacksburg is going tempo, same formation, double H-back look with Hudson and Babcock. Here is Colton Beck. I don't know if he got it or not. I don't think he did, Brad.
It'll depend on where they spotted the ball right here. It's going to be close.
Tackled by Chance Brown, 6 foot 240 pound senior. And we're going to have, it looks like, another measurement. Well, I'm glad, Brad, they're doing this. This is the way it should be done.
Yes, you're exactly right. I do believe that we might be just a little bit short, but we're at a little bit of a different angle. So we'll just see what comes up here.
Well, I called it wrong moments ago, and it looks like Blacksburg does end up short by a couple of feet. Well, that double H-back look did not produce the results at all that Blacksburg wanted.
Yeah, normally that's a pretty good formation for those extra blocks right there, but I think they just were able to slip in and wasn't able to get the good blocks on them.
So
but the one thing is we flipped the field position here.
The big 64-yard gain by Tyquest Terry does that. It does flip the field. And Glass will start from their own 18. They will put twins on either side of the line of scrimmage. The single running back is to the left of the quarterback. Here's the handoff, and the running back maybe will get a yard, if that.
Yeah, not a lot of room right there.
This one, Brad, has the early indications of maybe being a defensive struggle.
Very well could be. I looked like Donald Norris in on that tackle there.
Quarterback McCallum looks to the sideline. He's got twins on either side. It is Tyquarius Foster, the running back, to his right. Straight drop. McCallum in trouble, and down he goes. The sack by Gideon Driscoll at about the 15.
Yes, sir. Looked like Gideon Driscoll as well as Tim Sawyer's both in on that one, and that's going to move EC Glass back and bring up a 3rd and long for the Hilltoppers.
And the spot is in Blacksburg's favor. They will put it at the 14-yard line, so that'll make it 3rd and 15. From the 14-yard line, Glass moving from our right to left. 7-0 Blacksburg leading. 9:05 remaining in the second quarter. McCallum drop, throws. Has a receiver long who stretches but can't quite catch it at the 45 along the Hilltoppers sideline, and Blacksburg's defense holds again.
Going to bring up a 4th and 15 here. Couple score updates here. Mark Glenver leading Floyd 7-0 after the first quarter, and Stanton River up big over Northside 24-0.
No real surprise in that Stanton River game. There's a lot of area teams still playing postseason football.
A lot of good football in this area.
The Glass punter stands just inside his goal line. Tyquest Terry and Colton Beck stand at the Blacksburg 45. The kick is away. It's not very long at all. It's going to bounce towards the Blacksburg sideline, and it's going to roll out of bounds at the 41-yard line. So just a 27-yard punt, and Blacksburg will have good field position, hoping to expand on this 7-0 lead over the Hilltoppers from EC Glass High School.
Yeah, we got to get something cranking here. We got to get some more points on the board. You don't want to leave them hanging around here because, EC Glass has got athletes that can break it at any time as well. And, we've been deep in the territory, wasn't able to pick up that first down right there, but we've still got favorable field position, so we got to be able to find a way to get some points here.
Looks like Blacksburg is going to continue with that double H-back look with Babcock and Hudson on either side of and about 3 yards in front of the quarterback Grant Johnston. Colton Beck is to the right, and here comes a penalty flag, and let's see if Blacksburg jumped or if Glass jumped.
It looked to me like the lineman moved on EC Glass's part, but Ty Quest moved over on the corner, so I don't know if he jumped because he saw the lineman come across or what.
Here is the signal. It is going to be a neutral zone infraction against the Hilltoppers.
I think that's a good call. You know, as a receiver, you're out there. You can't hear the cadence. You can't hear the count. You're looking in at the ball. But when Ty Quest saw the defensive line coming across, I mean, that's immediately he's coming.
1st and 5. Again, the double H-back look. Johnston, straight drop. Wants to throw. He's hit. He's going to be brought down at about the 40-yard line, and Blacksburg will yield those 5 yards that they just picked up on the penalty on the Hilltoppers.
That's the second time that they have gotten to Grant Johnston's face mask, and it hasn't been called. They have hit him up around the headgear 2 times, and still yet they have not called that penalty.
And you could see the head of Grant Johnston snap in the way that usually you do see the flag thrown. Not in this particular instance. So again, a double H-back look. This time Hudson is wider to the left. Coffee to the near side. Terry to the far side. And here's a pass over the head of Coffee, intercepted by EC Glass at the 30, over the 40, over the 50, 45-40, 35-30, and it is going to be an interception pick 6 by Travell Alexander, who goes 60 yards for Glass's first score of the game.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. I mean, there was just no one in front. They were trying to get Thomas Coffey isolated right there, and ball was just a little bit high, and the defensive player right there to pick it off.
So a big play by the EC Glass defense puts them a PAT away from tying this game up. It will be Tyler Garrett, the 5'10", 155-pound freshman, who will attempt the point after. Glass has to get another player on the field. Now they do. The holder awaits the snap, and a penalty flag flies. It may be a delay. Let's see what the official calls.
Yeah, I'm not real sure. It came from the back judge.
We wait the signal. Now here it is.
I think that might be a safety infraction. I think that could be a headgear infraction.
Before the snap?
I think so. It's a safety. They want to call it before the snap so the player doesn't get hurt.
So that'll make the PAT 5 yards longer. Here is the kick, and it is, I don't believe that's good. It is not. And Blacksburg maintains the lead 7-6, 8:06 remaining in the second quarter. You're listening to Blacksburg Bruins Playoffs Football on Mix 100.7.
So have you applied for any jobs yet?
Nah, I'm just gonna sit all day.
So am I.
Don't just sit. Sit profitably. Drive for BT. Make $13.22 per hour.
Just the 5th interception of the season of Grant Johnston unfortunately results in a 60-yard pick 6 for the EC Glass Hilltoppers. The PAT is no good though, and Blacksburg leads 7-6. Here is a kick that bobbles to Tyquest Terry at about the 11. He breaks one tackle. He's up over the 25, up over the 30. Looks like they'll call him down right at about the 30.
Yeah, it's a good job right there by Tyquest, finding some room and getting there. We got to get something cranking here with this offense. Offense has sort of sputtered a little bit. You know, we had one impressive drive there on the touchdown, and since that point, we've sort of sputtered a little bit.
The term out of sync, I think, applies right now to this Blacksburg offense. They just don't appear to be in the rhythm that they like to get into. Again, this double H-back look will continue. Babcock and Logan Hudson, the single receiver to the near side, is going to be Noah Ramsey. And Tyquest Terry, the lone receiver, to the far side. Colton Beck is to the right of Grant Johnston. Johnston goes back, wants to throw, goes long, has Ramsey open. Ramsey has it and dropped it at about the 25. It may have been knocked out by Travail Alexander. Almost a big play answer by Blacksburg.
Wow, that was a good toss right there. And, you like to see that from Grant Johnson after that interception, coming back and throwing it right on the money. And I know Noah would like to have that one back. Just sort of slipped right through his hands.
It may have been that Alexander got a piece of it, but it was a very well-thrown ball by Grant Johnston. Same formation, the double H-back look. Johnston looking, throws. He's got Coffee over the 40, over the 45, over the 50, into the 49 of EC Glass. A 21-yard gain for the Bruins, and that is a Fisher Law Firm first down.
Well, the Hilltoppers defense, they're packing the box. Their goal is they're going to stop Colton Beck. They're not going to let him go anywhere. And, they've got probably 7 to 8 guys up in that box.
Same double H-back look, a single receiver on either side. Terry hands it off to Beck, who has nowhere to go. Finds a little bit of room, may get 2.
Yeah, not a lot of room right there.
They are unquestionably keen on Colton Beck.
Well, that's the good thing about this Bruin team. When you got everything cranking, you can hit them from every angle, and we're getting there.
Grant Johnston is the wide receiver to the far side. Coffee to the near side. Terry will take the snap. Fakes it to Colton Beck, and there are 3 white jerseys waiting for Tyquest for a loss of 3. And this Blacksburg offense right now just looks befuddled, Brad.
Well, they're facing a good defense in EC Glass. We talked about it, what this defense did against Larry Basham. And, I mean, he's one of the best in the business. And so we knew coming into this game it was going to be tough to get points against them.
Blacksburg this time will have one of its more traditional looks with twin receivers on either side. Tyquest Terry, the slot on the near side. Colton Beck in the backfield. Johnston back, throws. Has Ramsey, who manages to get close to the first down. Then he's thrown back. This will depend on the spot. Oh, he does not get a good spot at all. They're going to spot it at the 40. It looked like he spun up very close to the marker, but he's going to be a yard short.
I think Coach is going to go for it right here. It's going to bring up a big 4th and 1 right at the 40-yard line. The last time we went for it on 4th, the Hilltoppers was able to come up with a big stop.
And this is a full yard. We are pretty close to where the line of scrimmage is. The ball's just resting on the 40-yard line of EC Glass. Blacksburg needs a full yard. Single H-back. Johnston claps his hands. Terry comes to the near side. Now Johnston will look to the side, and Blacksburg's going to call a timeout and think about it. We'll take a quick timeout as well. Blacksburg leading 7-6, 5:39 remaining in the first half. You're listening to Bruins football on Mix 100.7. 4th and 1 Blacksburg from the 40 of EC Glass. Snap back. Colton Beck has it. He burrows his way ahead. This will depend on the spot. I do think he's got just enough for it, Brad, but I've been wrong once already tonight.
It looks to me like he got it. I mean, the far head linesman came in on the spot, and I really believe that he's got enough for the first down on this one.
Blacksburg needed a full yard. It does look like they have it, and they are going to call for another measurement. I think we've had more measurements in this first half, Brad, than we had in the whole regular season.
I tell you what, though, that's great. That's when you know you've got a good officiating staff that's out there doing what they're supposed to be doing, and it's in the best interest of the players.
I'm not going to predict this at all. And I'm going to stop predicting because Blacksburg just picked up the first down. That is a Fisher Law Firm first down for Colton Beck on a 1-yard length of the football rush.
Yeah, you know, I mean that took a lot of guts right there by Coach Wells to do that, and a lot of respect for his offensive line to know that they can do it, and also Colton Beck to know that he's going to get it.
Double H back look for Blacksburg. Here's the handoff to Beck. Goes straight ahead. Caught up. There's a penalty flag, I think. Well, there's a fumble on the play, and it looks like EC Glass has it. Wow. The ball apparently popped right out of the hands of Colton Beck. And EC Glass will take over at their 37.
Yeah, it looks like it just popped out, and, you know, those things happen. We haven't seen that a lot this year with Colton Beck, so I'm sure when we get back on there, Coach Wells will give him the ball back to make sure he's got that confidence building.
The ball spotted roughly in the middle of the field. 3 receivers to the side closest to us, a single receiver to the far side, a single running back. Here is the handoff to Foster, and he is brought down by Gideon Driscoll.
Great job right there by Driscoll, getting that penetration and getting a hold of him and bringing him down. You know, the freshman, 5'6", 160 pounds. I know when he sees Gideon Driscoll, Tim Sawyers, and Chase Orndorff breathing down his neck, he's going the other direction.
That is a TFL, tackle for loss of 1 yard, 2nd and 11. Same formation, 3 receivers to the near side, 1 away from us. McCallum has time, throws over the middle, and it was almost intercepted by Colton Beck on a deflection. And Colton Beck is looking stunned at the 45 like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was close. That was close, and there was a lot of green grass in front of him if he was able to pull that one out, but just not able to do it. That's actually the second dropped-in interception that we've had. Epperly had one earlier, and now Beck. And we did get an interception early in the game by Van Gilder.
It does bring up 3rd and 11. Same formation. McCallum with the drop, under pressure, and he's going to be brought down. It is Tyquest Terry that came knifing through to bring down the Hilltoppers quarterback. Check that. It was, who was that, Brad?
It was Tim Sawyers.
Tim Sawyers, sorry, Tim Sawyers. And Blacksburg has forced the punt. A big play by the Blacksburg defense. It brings up 4th and 16 from the 31 of the Hilltoppers. Here is the punter. Good snap. Kick is away. A much better kick this time. Tyquest Terry with the fair catch at the 41. So that's going to be a 28-yard punt.
So Blacksburg gets the ball back here at the 40. Looks like 41. You know, Mark, we've had 3 turnovers here in the first half, and we've still got the lead of 7-6. You know, we got to really be thankful right now because we have not played really well here in this first half, and still have a 1-point lead and have an opportunity to put some more points on the board here with 3:43 to go in the second quarter.
But the defense, Brad, still pitching a shutout. It was a pick 6 for the points for the Hilltoppers. Much like last week, the only points were on a pick 6. Blacksburg leads it 7-6, 3:43 remaining. The Bruins moving from our left to right. They would love to get some points right here. 3 receivers to the near side, 1 to the far side. Play action, pass over the middle, and it's intended for Noah Ramsey on a slant, and he drops it at about the 41. It was a low throw, would have been a tough catch.
Yeah, you know, I think that it was about the only place that Grant could put it right there because he had an inside backer sliding over. Brings up a 2nd and 10 here for the Bruins.
Terry is inside of Babcock. They split the hash mark on the near side. Twins on the far side in the boundary. Grant Johnston drops. Under pressure, rolling to his left, wants to throw. Tried to get it to Coffey, and it went off of his hands, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 10 for Blacksburg.
Yeah, big down right here. 3:28, that stops the clock.
Well, Thad Wells said in the pregame interview, this might be the best defense that Blacksburg has faced all year, and Blacksburg has seen some good ones. Lord Botetourt, Salem. This is proving to be a very stout defense that the Hilltoppers have brought tonight to Blacksburg.
It is. We've helped them out a whole lot, though.
Twins on either side. Back to the right of Johnston in the shotgun, who claps his hands. Straight drop. Has time. Still looking. Now he's got Tyquest Terry open and almost intercepted and almost caught by Terry at about the 20. Looked like Terry may have lost that one up in the air, Brad.
Yeah, I think that he probably did. The ball just hung up a little bit on Grant right there, and fortunately it was not intercepted. Brings up 4th down here for the Bruins. 3:21 on the clock in the 2nd quarter.
So Camden Wise will come in to punt to the Hilltoppers. Their returners are standing at about the 25-yard line. Camden standing at about the 27 of Blacksburg. He gets the punt away. It's a high kick. It's going to bounce almost straight up in the air. It's going to go out of bounds at about the 23-yard line. A 36-yard punt by Camden. Well, now the defense, Brad, has to do it again.
Yeah, they do, and I mean, they just got to keep bringing it every time, and that's what you have to do. They don't score, they don't win.
If they don't score again and Blacksburg doesn't score again,
that's
Blacksburg wins. I doubt that'll happen, but I'll take it if it does. 3 receivers to the near side, 1 to the far side, single running back. McCallum in the shotgun. Stops the cadence, looks to the sideline, then looks at his 3 receivers to his left. Snap back, handoff, and it's going to be a tackle pretty much right after the running back got the ball. He will get forward for about a yard or so. Looked like Driscoll and maybe Van Gelder.
Yeah, I believe Van Gelder was the initial hit, and then Driscoll came in as well to bring him down.
They get a good spot, a gain of 3. Same formation, triplets to the near side, 1 to the far side. Straight drop by McCallum. Under pressure, throws over the head of his intended receiver. That one was Terrell Clark, a 6'3", 175-pound senior.
Brings up a 3rd and 7 here. The other thing is it stops the clock, 2:41 here. If the defense can find a way to come up with a big stop here, offense gets the ball back, and hopefully we can get something cranking here before the half.
3rd and 7 from the 25. And here is the quarterback throwing it, and it's bobbled, and it's going to be incomplete. It looked like it was a catch around the knees by Drayshawn Kendrick, but he bobbles the ball, and Blacksburg's defense does what they need to do, which is force the punt.
Yeah, it looked like it was a little bit of a different look there from the Glass offense. The quarterback faked the handoff and then sort of came right down the line, almost like a little waggle, and then he tries to hit the slant pattern there, and actually didn't make a bad throw, just wasn't able to pull it in. Kendrick wasn't able to pull it in.
Terry and Beck are standing near midfield. They don't anticipate a long punt, and it isn't a long punt, but it's going to get a good roll. It's going to roll inside the 45 of Blacksburg down to about the 41-yard line.
Looks like you're going to get a 15-yard penalty, I believe, on EC Glass, because there's a little bit of an exchange there between a couple of the players, and looked to me like there was definitely some physical contact there pushing Tyquest Terry back, and I saw the laundry come out, and hopefully that will be a 15-yard penalty against them, because that will give Blacksburg a very favorable field position, get them into EC Glass territory here with 2:26 to go. Waiting on the call, though, from the officials.
And I'll say this, Brad, other than that hideous interference call early on in the game, this crew has done a very nice job from that point forward.
Yeah, this is a good crew. They do a fine job.
Here is the call. It is a personal foul on Blacksburg, and I believe a personal foul on the Hilltoppers, and those penalties will offset. Well, you see that fairly frequently, but end result, no yardage one way or the other.
Well, I can't really understand that because the flag was thrown from this official, the sideline judge over here, and you know, there was nothing that was done, you know, at that point.
Twins to either side. Johnston claps his hands, wants to throw, under some pressure, has it complete to Colton back up to about the 40, and we'll call it the 47-yard line for a gain of 6.
Good job there. Good focus by Colton Beck, because that wasn't an easy catch right there, you know, going out into the flats. But Johnston put it right where he needed to, and Colton comes up with a big catch.
It was a nice catch by Colton. He will be wearing the maroon and orange of Virginia Tech after this season. Twins to both sides again. Johnston wants to get a quick pass to the side. He does, up to Drew Babcock, and he'll have enough for a Fisher Law Firm first down into Hilltoppers territory to about the 47.
Yeah, it's going to move the chains right there for the Bruins. $1:50 left on the clock here.
It's a Fisher Law Firm first down for Blacksburg. Officials are waiting for the chains to get moved. Now the official starts the clock. Twins again to both sides, back in the backfield. Johnston looking, wants to throw. Receiver fell down. It was Josh Van Gelder, and he's pointing to his chest as if to say, that one's on me.
Yeah, just sort of lost his footing right there. Wasn't able to make the cut.
The good thing is it stops the clock. 1:41 remaining before halftime. Blacksburg leading 7-6. A missed PAT, the difference in this game. EC Glass got their 6 on a 60-yard pick 6 on the 5th interception of the season by Grant Johnston. Blacksburg's points come via a touchdown reception by Thomas Coffey. Here's the handoff to Colton Beck. Tries to slither his way through. Not much room to run. He will have a gain of about 3. It'll be 3rd and 7.
Yeah, it's going to bring up a big third down right here. You know, the clock is spinning, so you wonder if we would go for it here on 4th down as well. 1:21 and counting.
I've got to think where Blacksburg is right now, Brad. This is 2-down territory for the Bruins. Twins again on either side. Johnston claps his hands. Wants to fire. Has it complete to Drew Babcock. And then the ball comes loose. Let's see if the official says it was a catch and the Babcock was down. I believe that's what they're going to call. Let's see. The Glass sideline jumping up and down. They don't think that's the right call. The ball popped loose as soon as Babcock hit the ground.
Looks like
they're going to call the first down for Blacksburg, so Blacksburg gets the benefit of that one.
Good job there. Definitely needed a break and was able to get it. So 1:06 here on the clock in the second quarter. Blacksburg leading 7-6.
It's another Fisher Law Firm first down, and Drew Babcock becoming the possession receiver on this particular drive. It is Babcock and Terry on the numbers on the near side. To the far side, it is Coffey and Van Gelder. Back in the backfield with Johnston. Johnston, 2-step drop, in a little bit of trouble, running to his right, throws, has Babcock, who drops the ball at about the 32.
Again, you know, the positive of this is it stops the clock, 47 seconds to go. Blacksburg still has 2 timeouts left in this half.
47 seconds remaining before halftime. 7-6 Blacksburg. Same formation, same alignment of receivers, and the running back to the right of Johnston. Snap back, Johnston has time, looking, fires. It's over the head of Josh Van Gelder, who was open at about the 15. And Grant Johnston on 2 or 3 occasions tonight, Brad, has just put just a little bit too much air under the ball.
Yeah, just a little bit. Brings up 3rd and 10 here for the Bruins from the 37. Once again, another big down here for the Bruins.
Again, it will be Terry and Babcock to the near side. Van Gelder in the slot inside of Coffey. On the far side, Beck in the backfield with Johnston, who stands at about the 42. Has the snap back, has protection, has time, throws. This time he's got Josh Van Gelder, and let's see where they give him the spot. Do they give him forward progress? They should. They're not giving him forward progress, Brad.
No, it looks like it's going to be 4th and short here.
It certainly looked to me like where he caught the ball was a yard further than where that ball got spotted.
Yeah, I agree with you, but it does look like it's going to bring up a 4th down. Blacksburg will call a timeout here and see if we can figure something out to pick up that yard.
We'll keep it right here this time. So 4th and 1, 32 seconds remaining before halftime. Blacksburg does have one more timeout, Brad. Do you try to run it with Colton Beck to try to plow ahead, get that first down, then maybe run up to the line, spike it, stop it?
Well, I think that, that's probably what you need to do. You know, a lot of it's just going to depend on if they're packing that box. If we spread them out, you know, they're not packing the box quite as much because they've got to go cover some of the receivers and stuff. And if you're able to get that 1 yard pickup with the handoff to Beck, might be something to think about. The other aspect of it is you know, I'm sure that Grant Johnston's reading it, and you know, he could obviously fake that handoff because they're keying on Beck, pull it and come around the end for the first down. We'll just have to wait and see what happens here.
Good to see Craig Weaver back out on the field, number 45. He had that leg injury against Richlands on the 2-point conversion attempt, and he gets a hand slap from Tyquest Terry, welcoming him back into the lineup. He's going to be in an H-back position along with Drew Babcock. This is the double H-back look. Let's see if Blacksburg goes power with Colton Beck to try to pick up this first down on 4th and 1 from the 28. Play action. Grant Johnston rolling to his right, under pressure, and he's going to be tackled and dropped on a nice open field play by Thomas Patterson, and the Hilltoppers take over.
22 seconds left here in the half. The defense has got to stay tight here and not give up a cheap one.
Let's see if Blacksburg will blitz on this particular play or whether they'll drop back into max coverage. Ball spotted at the 34 of EC Glass.
Mountain Dew at halftime or something.
Twin receivers to the far side of the field. Ball is on the near side hash mark. Twin receivers to both sides of the offensive line. A single running back to the left of McCallum. He drops. Blacksburg only rushes 3. Here's a pass to Sackett Wood, number 14, the 6'4 target along the Blacksburg sideline, complete to about the 45-yard line. And that'll be a first down. The clock at 17 seconds.
Does stop the clock where he's able to get out of bounds. I believe that's the first target for Sackett tonight.
Triplets to the far side of the field. It is a single receiver, Benjamin McCarthy, now joined by another receiver. So 2 near to us, 3 to the far side. Empty backfield, McCallum. Here comes Blacksburg, and he is going to go down. McCallum goes down at the 40.
Big Tim Sawyer's coming in from that defensive nose position, and he puts it to him. Looks like EC Glass is going to call a timeout here with 8 seconds to go.
We talk a lot about Gideon Driscoll and how good he is, but Tim Sawyers may be the heir apparent next year for Gideon Driscoll.
Oh, I do. I mean, you know, you look at that defensive line there. You got Chase Orndorff, who's one of the strongest guys on the team. You've got Gideon Driscoll, who's got a motor that just doesn't stop. And then you talk about Tim Sawyers, and he just comes from everywhere. And a strong kid, quick kid, and you know, I tell you, a lot of the reason that this team has been so successful from a defensive standpoint has been those defensive linemen.
8 seconds remaining. Blacksburg leading 7-6. EC Glass moving from our right to left. The nose of the football right at the 40 of the Hilltoppers. They now break their huddle and make their way across the field.
You have to be prepared right here for some trickery.
Maybe a hook and ladder or something like that.
Could be.
It's the time of the game where coaches can pull the plays out of their box. The that they don't use too frequently. Max protection for Blacksburg. Looks like they're only going to rush 3. They put plenty of receivers out into coverage. Here's a completion, though, over the middle. The receiver's going to be down to about the 31-yard line, but that will be, I think, the end of the half. Let's see what the officials say. There's an ineligible receiver downfield for the Hilltoppers.
So it looks like this one's going to come back.
Illegal receiver.
Well, that is exactly what Blacksburg hoped to have, something like that. We don't think that the 2 kickers for the Hilltoppers have field goal range, at least not long field goal range. They were maybe starting to get close enough to where another quick completion along the sideline might have got them in field goal range. Don't know, but it's all irrelevant because of the 5-yard penalty.
Looks like, there's no time on the clock, but I think that EC Glass possibly tried to call timeout. So it looks like they're going to get another opportunity here. The official, the referee is saying put 1 second on the clock.
1 second on the clock. Well, if you're Blacksburg, you've got to keep everything in front of you on this particular play. Nothing can get behind.
Well, and you see Coach Compton's got his safeties back. Brian Mitchell as well as Colton Beck, they're back at the 30, so they are a good 30 yards off of the ball.
It's only a 5-yard penalty, right?
And the ball is spotted on the 40, the 5-yard mark off on the near side hash mark. And now the officials say the first half has come to a close. So Blacksburg and Glass will go into the locker room. The Bruins leading it by just a point at 7-6. We'll come back with the Carillion Clinic halftime report when we return. You're listening to Blacksburg Bruins Playoffs Football on Mix 100.7. So we're about ready to get this second half underway. Blacksburg leading it by the score of 7-6. Dreamweaver playing in the background. Blacksburg's dreams of going back to Williamsburg being severely tested here tonight, as Coach Wells thought they would be. He said in the pregame comments this would be the best defense he thought Blacksburg had faced all year. It's living up to that.
Well, EC Glass is a good football team. We talked about it. They've just had some inconsistencies this year, and they have a ton of kids there that they can choose from, and a tremendous amount of athletes, and they're proving it tonight. I mean, they're fast. They've done a good job of containing us. They've done a good job of getting some pressure on Grant Johnston, and we've just got to find a way here this second half to overcome it. They're a well-coached football team as well.
Mm-hmm. And you said it so often, Brad, and you're absolutely right. The first series of the third quarter each way can be very, very telling, because that's when the teams come out of the locker room. That's when they've either had the attitude readjustment or they've changed some things to come out and try to exploit some weaknesses that they saw. This is going to be a very big offensive series for Blacksburg coming up.
I definitely think so, and I think you got to be careful right here on this kickoff to make sure they don't do some type of trickery as well.
So Glass will be kicking from our right to our left. That's toward the concession stand side of the field if you're familiar with the stadium. And here is a relatively short kick. This one is heading out of bounds, and it does go out of bounds. So Blacksburg will get good field position to start the second half.
Well, I tell you what, if I'm playing Blacksburg, I'm probably going to do the same thing. I will take my lumps and give them the ball at the 35 instead of giving Colton Beck and Tyquest Terry an opportunity to return it.
And I think a key, Brad, in this second half is going to be the Blacksburg offensive line. Grant Johnston, at times tonight, has had time to throw. At other times, he's had to run for his life. I think this Blacksburg offensive line could be a real key in this second half.
I agree. And the other part of it is I think we've got to come out and I think we've got to establish the run. I think we have got to get a running game going, because then that's going to loosen up the passing game.
Let's see if maybe Blacksburg starts to run Colton Beck on some sweeps, try to take advantage of speed around the edge. This time Colton is going to join the two receivers on the far side of the field. There are two on the near side as well. An empty backfield for Johnston. Throws complete to Josh Van Gelder up to about the 43-yard line for a gain of 8.
I tell you what, we've said it all along. Josh Van Gelder, if you look up in a dictionary, great high school football player, and the type of player you want on your team, it's number 7, Josh Van Gelder.
Offense, defense, special teams. He is really the heart and soul of this Blacksburg football team.
He brings it every time. And, it doesn't matter if it's football, basketball, whatever it is, he's going to bring it.
Twins to the far side are Babcock. Inside of him is Terry. On the near side is Van Gelder, and Coffey is complete to Van Gelder. Spins, loses the football, and I think Glass has it. He caught the pass at about midfield, tried to pick up more yardage, and he gives up the football. Another turnover for Blacksburg. That is not what the Bruins wanted to have happen.
No, definitely not what we wanted to have happen, but you got to forget about it. You got to get rid of it and get it out of your mind. And we've got to move forward here. Defense has got to come up big. EC Glass gets the ball on the 45 of their own.
The good thing about it, Brad, is Blacksburg did at least get some yardage on that drive. They are not giving Glass the football on the Bruins side of the field, at least not yet.
Yeah, Blacksburg had some things going right there. We were moving the ball a little bit.
Triplets to the far side, Twins to the near side, an empty backfield for McCallum, about 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Now has a back in motion to the near side. McCallum going long, launches it, has a receiver out there, and it is incomplete. He had Travell Alexander. He was covered well by Blacksburg, but incomplete.
Yeah, it's a good job there by Drew Babcock going out in coverage, and he was step for step with him, and they were not able to pull it up. We talked about it a little bit. Coach Wells talked about it in his pregame talk. A lot of times they like to go deep. It's not necessarily the slants that they like. They like to get out and go deep, and that's just because they've got some great athletes that can run.
And their offensive line is doing a pretty good job of protecting their quarterback tonight. There are times in the running game where Blacksburg's knifing in, but on pass protection, other than a couple sacks, their quarterback has generally had pretty good time to throw. Triplets to the far side, a single running back, and the running back gets the carry. He'll get a gain of about 4.
Yeah, not a lot of room right there for him to go.
Looked like it was.
I think it was Tyquest Terry in on the tackle.
Maybe assisted by Gideon Driscoll. 3rd and call it 7. Triplets to the far side. A single running back to the left of the quarterback and a single receiver to the near side is Wood. Here's a handoff straight up the middle, and Blacksburg's defense is waiting for Tyquarius Foster. They drop him for a gain of maybe 1.
Yeah, not a lot of room right there. That looked like Josh Van Gilder in on the tackle there along with Gideon Driscoll.
So the Blacksburg defense does its job. After the turnover, they only give up 5 yards. They force the punt by the Hilltoppers. Back goes Colton Beck and Tyquest Terry. The ball is just on the Blacksburg side of the midfield stripe. Snap back, it's a one-hopper. The punter does a good job of getting it, and it does a nice job of getting the punt away. The ball's going to roll inside the 15 down to about the 14-yard line. So a 36-yard punt will put Blacksburg in business with the football at their own 14. 9:49 remaining in the third quarter. Blacksburg leading by the score of 7-6 in what has turned into a defensive tilt here at Bill Brown Stadium in the second round of the Class 4 Region D playoffs.
Got to get something going right here on the offensive side.
Babcock and Terry are in the boundary. The ball's on the near side hash mark to the far side. It looks like it might be, is that Noah Ramsey over there?
I believe it is.
Here's Grant Johnston throwing to the far side to Noah Ramsey. He'll maybe have a gain of about a yard or two. Let's see if they call him down. They are. Thank goodness the official is saying that Ramsey was down. The ball came loose again for the Bruins.
Yeah, that's fortunately they blew the whistle dead right there, because that would have been that could have been a touchdown for EC Glass.
It is a gain of 3 yards. Blacksburg got a good spot on that particular call by the official. 2nd and 7 on the far side hash mark. Terry and Babcock to the near side. Beck is in the backfield as usual to the right of Johnston. Twins to the far side. Snap back, Johnston has it, looking, has time, now he's going to roll to his left, throws, complete to, looks like it's Thomas Coffey, and he'll have enough for official law firm first down up to about the 26, 27.
Good job right there. Grant Johnston bought a little bit of time and was able to get to hit Coffey.
That was a prime example of Grant Johnston keeping a play alive with his feet. Pressure started to come, he moved to his left and was able to complete the pass to Thomas Coffey. It was the receiver closest to us on the near side. Logan Hudson is the slot receiver on the near side. Terry and Babcock to the far side. Snap back. Here's a pass out in the flat to Colton Beck. He's got it at the 25. Stutter steps up to the 30. And he's going to dive forward up to about the 33, maybe the 34.
It's a good job right there, getting out in open space. And that's what we've got to do with Colton with that speed. That's just like a toss sweep right there, and is able to pick up about 8 yards.
That's a good spot for Blacksburg. It's all the way up near the 34, the nose of the football, just shy of the 34 on the near side hash mark. Coffey and Ramsey to the near side. Beck goes into the inside slot. Terry on the outside slot. Pass complete to Ramsey. A nice downfield block by Coffey. Almost sprung him, but a nice open field tackle by Nigel Anthony, one of the defensive backs. But it will be a Fisher Law Firm first down for Blacksburg. And now, Brad, a little bit of tempo starting to be established here. Blacksburg has got to hang on to the football.
Well, so far this is a good drive for us, and this is what we've got to continue to do. Just keep working, and you don't have to get it all at once. You just continue to move the chains.
Ramsey and Coffey closest to us. Away from us are Terry and Babcock. The backfield with Johnston is Beck. Here's a pass, slant over the middle, caught. Noah Ramsey over the 45 down to about the 44, and that'll be another Fisher Law Firm first down. You can see what's going on here, Brad. The Hilltopper players are tearing at the football every time Blacksburg catches it. Blacksburg's going to have to hold tight onto that ball after the reception.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
They have been well schooled in Lynchburg on the strip technique with their defensive backs. Twin receivers to both sides. Johnston Stands perpendicular to the line of scrimmage to get the call. Has it now. Claps his hands. Straight drop. Has time. Now he's going to be caught, and he's going to be brought down for a big loss. Jaden Merriman collared Grant Johnston, who almost got away, but that is going to be a loss of close to about 7 or 8 yards, it looks like, Brad.
Yeah, it looks like we were trying to go deep right there and just wasn't able to get just enough time for Grant to do that. Looks like it's going to be a loss of 8. 6:53 to go here and counting. 7-6, the Bruins lead.
The ball back in Blacksburg's territory. The nose is just shy of the 48-yard line. A couple yards inside of the far side hash mark. Epperly and Coffey are now the receivers to the near side. Twins also to the far side. Johnston being pressured, rolling to his right. He's going to be brought down again for a loss. Back to the 38-yard line, and Blacksburg's drive is starting to disintegrate. That was Ja'Cory Kittrell on the sack.
Yeah, I mean, they just came up through there, and, we've got to be able to give Grant just a little bit more time than that.
Camden Wise is now in as one of the receivers. Tyquest Terry, Thomas Coffey, Drew Babcock. Now Terry's going to come to the near side. The others are to the far side. Babcock racing across the field. He'll go outside of Terry, who's in the slot. 3rd and 29. Johnston back. Here comes a flag, and it looked like maybe Drew Babcock jumped the snap a little bit, and 5 more going the wrong way for Blacksburg. It's going to be 3rd and 34.
Yeah, we had a good little drive going right there, and then the big sack, and then the back-to-back sacks, and it's just pushed us back and sort of lost our momentum.
Well, I don't know what play Thad Wells has designed for 3rd and 34, but if he's got one, now's the time to bring it out. Snap back. Handoff, Colton Beck. And he's going to be brought down at about the 37-yard line, so Blacksburg trying to maybe mix up the play calling just a little bit, catch Lynchburg's EC Glass off guard, but it was not successful.
Looks like there could be a penalty marker down.
A face mask would certainly help the cause for Blacksburg, although it would not be enough for a first down. I'm not sure. Looks like the officials now are trying to get the time on the clock correct is what's holding up play.
Looks like, there wasn't a penalty flag, unfortunately. The clock, there was a little bit of a clock issue. They were telling to put 5:28 back on the clock.
So 2 sacks of Grant Johnston kill what looked like a promising drive for Blacksburg. And it is Camden Wise standing between his 25 and 20 to kick it away. We'll be kicking from our left to right. Here's a high snap, but brought down by Wise. He gets the punt off. It's a good high kick, and it's going to take a nice bounce for Blacksburg. It's going to be down at about the 20-yard line. So a 43-yard punt by Camden Wise puts EC Glass in offensive possession at their 20.
I tell you what, I did not think that our offense would be shut down the way that we have been shut down in this particular game.
Some of it has been self-destruction, but a lot of it has been due to the opponent. They are just facing a very good defense tonight. And Tyquest Terry is being attended to on the Bruins sideline. We'll keep an eye on that. Triplets to the near side. A single receiver to the far side. Snap back, handoff to the running back. Breaks the first tackler, and coming up to catch him from behind, it looked like was Logan Hudson, but that's going to be a gain all the way up to the 39-yard line. That's a 19-yard run, by far the longest run of the night for the Hilltoppers.
Yeah, they was able to get a seam right there and was able to come up through it.
They may have gotten a little momentum, Brad, with that last defensive series. Blacksburg had something going, and then a couple of sacks snuffed it out.
Got a different quarterback in there as well.
Here is a play that was designed to perhaps be a little trickery, and it backfires badly all the way back to the 29-yard line. So these defenses, Brad, are just taking turns laying it on the opposing offense.
They are. They basically, it looked like they put Kendrick back in there at the quarterback position and was going to try to run an option there. Did not work for them.
That's a loss of 10. The Hilltoppers face 2nd and 20 from their 29. Triplets to the left, a single receiver to the right. McCallum under pressure, and he's going to be sacked. It is
Josh Van
Gelder who drops the quarterback back to the 20.
Great job right there by that Bruin defense. Josh Van Gelder just came from that inside backer position and came untouched and put the pressure on and brings him down.
3rd and 29. Well, Blacksburg just faced 3rd and 34. The Hilltoppers have it 3rd and 29. And the thing you want to do here, Brad, do not let any receiver get behind you. You can give up the short pass, chase the receiver down, but you can't give up the long one.
That's exactly right.
Twins to either side, a single running back to the right and a yard behind the quarterback. McCallum, he throws, short pass complete, and look at this. The Hilltoppers are going to score the touchdown unless Colton Beck can get the receiver. Ball's loose. Blacksburg looks like they stopped the touchdown.
And Blacksburg's got the ball.
Have possession?
Blacksburg has got the ball. Colton Beck chased him down, knocked the ball out from behind him, and Camden Wise right there to pick it up, gives Blacksburg the ball on about the 1-yard line, I believe. Actually, it's going to be on about the 5.
What a hustle play by Colton Beck, and that speed of Colton Beck on display there. He comes by and he hits the ball out of the receiver's hand. Blacksburg recovers it, and what looked like was going to be perhaps a backbreaker of a play turns into a turnover for Blacksburg. Wow.
Great hustle there by Colton Beck.
That, Brad, is the hustle play of the year for Blacksburg. So Blacksburg has it at its own 3-yard line. What a turn of events, all in one play. Grant Johnston fires. It is complete to Coffey up to the 10-yard line, maybe the 11, for a gain of, call it 8.
You know, you don't want to speculate, but that particular play right there might have saved Blacksburg's season.
You took the words right out of my mouth, Brad. I was about ready to say the exact same thing. Double H-back set with Hudson and Weaver. Johnston wants to throw again to Coffey, and it looks like he does have the reception. It's going to be, I believe, enough for a Fisher Law Firm first down, and it is.
Good job of moving the chains right there. You know, we were deep in the territory. He's able to move it. You know, basically we're just hitting a little slant pass right there, and eventually they're going to come up and bite on it, and we can hit them deep, I believe.
If the offensive line can give Grant Johnston time. Here's Colton Beck trying to pick up yardage. It's a scrum. He will get over the 20 for a gain of about 3.
It's a good hard run right there by Colton Beck. Yeah, as you said, looks like he's picked up 3 yards there. Brings up 2nd and 7, 2:15 and counting.
7-6, Blacksburg leading. Bruins look to the sideline to get the play call. Weaver and Hudson both in the H-back position. Colton Beck in the backfield, a single receiver on either side of the line of scrimmage. Straight drop. Grant Johnston throws. Comebacker complete to Thomas Coffey, and that's going to move the chains again. Another Fisher Law Firm first down.
That's a great play right there. I thought Thomas Coffey had lost his footing there, but able to come back and make the catch.
Ramsey and Weaver come out. A couple of players come in for Blacksburg. One of them, Drew Babcock. Looks like Camden Wise on the far side of the field.
Looks like Ramsey's coming back in the game here.
Hudson comes out. Blacksburg shuffling players. Babcock and Ramsey To the near side, Coffee and Wise. To the far side. Hand off Colton Beck. Tries to cut back to his left. He started initially to his left, then went to his right. And here's going to be a penalty flag. It was number 78, Chance Brown, with some extracurricular activity after the play, and it's going to cost the Hilltoppers 15 yards.
Yeah, that's a big penalty right there. That's going to keep this drive moving forward for the Bruins, and a little bit of extracurricular activity after the play.
Grant Johnston with a spirited slap on the hands of Davis Robertson. Blacksburg looks like they've maybe got a little bit of momentum going here, Brad.
Just got to keep it going right here. You know, it's a minute 18 here in the third quarter. We've got to find a way to get some points in the end zone.
Ramsey inside of Babcock on the near side. Coffee to the far side. Inside of him is Wise. Johnston has the snap. Quick pass over the middle. In and out of the hands of Noah Ramsey at about the 45.
It's a pretty good throw there by Grant Johnston in a little bit of traffic, and he needled it through. Ramsey's not able to pull it in.
Stops the clock with 61 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Blacksburg clinging to a 7-6 lead.
You just have to know that sooner or later, one of these teams is going to break a big one.
Handoff, Colton Beck tries to get room, and he cannot find any. He'll maybe get a yard.
I tell you what, that was number 2, Thomas Patterson, coming in for EC Glass from that inside backer position, and he brought a load that time.
He has had a terrific game tonight. So 3rd and 8 for Blacksburg at its own 47. Blacksburg has picked up 44 yards on this particular drive. They would love to get 8+ on this particular play. Twins to both sides. Straight drop. Johnston has time. Looking. Now he's going to take off, run to his right. He's got room to throw, and it's incomplete to Camden Wise, and maybe Grant Johnston would have been well advised there, Brad, to take off and run. He got a good block from Colton Beck, but he pulled the trigger along the sideline.
Yeah, let's see what looks like the officials are marking the spot. I think he caught the ball.
They're going to say that he did catch the ball in bounds. I thought he was out of bounds. Now here comes a penalty flag. We may have a complaint.
I think that's going to be a 15-yard penalty for unsportsmanlike conduct against EC Glass.
A complaint by EC Glass. Let's see what happens here. It looked to me like Camden Wise was bobbling the ball, but the officials give him credit for the play. We'll certainly take it.
Absolutely. They have spotted it there. The chains are still standing still over here, so the officials are talking right now.
One of the coaches for Glass is all the way out at the hash mark. He wants an explanation. The Glass defense has returned to its sideline to talk things over while the officials are standing on the 30-yard line close to the Blacksburg sideline, just beyond the numbers, discussing this particular play. 4 officials are talking it over.
Well, you know, you have to think that even if they come back and say that he did not catch the ball, it's still going to be a 15-yard penalty and enough to give Blacksburg the first down.
Thad Wells calls his offense over.
Officials are taking a lot of time right here to try to get this right, which is understandable. I mean, this is a key point in the game. 7-6, 33 seconds to go in the third quarter.
And I cannot tell if that is Jeff Woody, who is standing now inside the hash mark, hands on his hips. Here come the officials. They're going to explain to whatever coach it is for the Hilltoppers what's going on.
Yeah, it looks like the Bruins are going back out on the field.
It's taking quite a bit of time to get this particular play sorted out. The official is standing with the football at about the 40 or the 39 of Blacksburg, talking to some of the Blacksburg players.
He's trying to show him a video, and you're allowed to do that. That's a penalty. That's supposed to be it.
And one of the Lynchburg players, our spotter Tom Bibbins, is saying one of the coaches for EC Glass actually brought a video player out on the field to show the officials something. You've got to think that's some sort of unsportsmanlike penalty.
Well, they sent him back to the sideline really quickly.
They had got a penalty for that, remember?
And still the officials have not made a ruling. This is a long explanation to one of the coaches from EC Glass High School.
Well, and the other part about this is Blacksburg is sort of in a rhythm here, and this sort of kills that rhythm, So, you hope that they can get this figured out quickly, get the guys back on the field and let them go.
Now it looks like the discussion with the coach of the Hilltoppers is over. They may come over now and explain it to Blacksburg. Let's see.
All right, after much deliberation.
It is an unsportsmanlike call on the Hilltoppers.
So the ball was spotted, the catch was made at the 30, and then there's a 15-yard penalty tagged on to that.
It's going to be down somewhere, I think, around the 16.
I believe it'll be right on the 15 mark.
Or the 15. It's between the 15 and the 16. The nose of the football sitting on the 15-yard line of EC Glass on the near side hash mark. Blacksburg with a golden opportunity here. Boy, would it be nice to get Colton Beck broken free on this particular play.
Well, it sure would. I'll be honest with you, Mark. I don't care if it's Colton Beck, Drew Babcock, Noah Ramsey, Grant Johnston, Camden Wise, Thomas Coffey. We just got to get in the end zone.
Pick one.
That's
Anyone.
That's it.
Any Bruin right now that's eligible. I'll take a fumble recovered by an offensive lineman in the end zone right now.
We will take anything.
33 seconds remaining. Blacksburg taking a lot of time to get the play call. Now they have it. Coffey and Wise to the far side. Babcock and Ramsey to the near side. Johnston drops, flushed out of the pocket, throws, and a diving catch by Drew Babcock made at about the 12-yard line. A nice catch by Drew.
That was a very good catch by Drew. Got his hands up underneath it and makes the grab there. It's
a gain of 3.
19 seconds and counting here in the third quarter. I don't know if we'll get a play off before the clock expires in the third or not.
10 seconds left. Blacksburg, let's see if they can get the snap off. 5 seconds on the clock. 4, 3, 2, and Grant Johnston is just going to look at that clock, and he's going to let the third quarter expire. So Blacksburg will begin the fourth quarter when we return on the 12-yard line of EC Glass. Blacksburg leading 7-6 at the end of 3. You're listening to Bruins Playoffs Football on Mix 100.7. Seven to 6, Blacksburg leading as we enter the fourth quarter with the Bruins in prime position to perhaps put points on the board. They are at the 12-yard line. Here is Grant Johnston dropping, and he's just going to throw the ball out of bounds. Incomplete. 3rd and 7.
Big 3rd down right here, Mark. They've got the 2 H-backs in there sort of setting up the extra blocking to try to give Grant a little bit of extra time.
You got to think maybe sooner or later, Brad, they might take one of those H-backs on just a drag route, just going straight ahead and maybe try to pop it over the middle if Glass is stuffing the box. Here it is. This is actually a 3 H-back look for Blacksburg. Handoff, Colton Beck going around the left side, tries to get around a tackler, does, over the 10, over the 5, he goes towards the pylon, he's going to be called out of bounds, I believe at the 2.
But he gets enough to pick up the 1st down and give us 4 more downs here. Good job there by Colton Beck, just sort of showing his wheels.
He did a little stutter step to freeze the defender just enough to then be able to turn on the jets and get down to the 2. Here's a snap back. Johnston gives it to Beck, who slips, and it's going to be a loss of 2 by Colton Beck.
Yeah, just lost his footing right there.
78 if you want to get the tackle.
It's going to make it 2nd and goal from the 4.
This is a big one right here, Mark. We've got to find a way. You know, I mean, obviously we get a field goal would be great, but we've got to try to find a way to get a touchdown right here.
Blacksburg will again have the multiple H-back look. Handoff, Colton Beck wants to go around the right side, tries to get a block, he heads to the pylon and he's into the end zone! Touchdown, Colton Beck! 13-6 Blacksburg.
What a big time play right there by Colton Beck, just showing his wheels and finding the corner right there. And Blacksburg takes the lead, extends the lead 13-6 right now as the 4th quarter starts. A big time play right there by the offense.
A Blacksburg physical therapy touchdown by Colton Beck from 3 yards out, and Blacksburg stretches the lead to 13-6. And a big extra point here. This would be an 8-point differential. Here's the kick by Camden Wise. That kick is up, and that kick is good. Blacksburg extends the lead to 14-6. 11:23 remaining in the game. From Bill Brown Stadium, you're listening to Bruins Playoffs Football on Mix 100.7.
I'm Bob Lowe. I've been working for BT. I worked 8.5 years, and then I left for 4.5, and then I've been back about 9 months. There's something about driving a bus to me that I think just appeals to people, because when I worked for Xerox for 38 years, and I used to tell my buddy, I said, one of these days I'm going to drive the 2-town trolley. Then I retired, and a year later I applied for a job here, and doing it since then. Well, I just love the people here. There's such a diverse group of people, and I've met people from all over the world, all different types of education levels, and from gardeners up to doctors, you know. So it's a fun job, it's good people to work with, and if you sit around the house and watch TV all day, you can get out here and have some fun instead.
Beck caps off a 13-play, 97-yard drive, taking 3 minutes, 52 seconds off the clock. Blacksburg leads this one, 14-6.
Here was a low liner kickoff purposefully by Camden Wise. It is returned by EC Glass up to about the 25. Well, Brad, that drive began with a defensive play of the year, a hustle play by Colton Beck, and then Colton Beck caps it with the 3-yard touchdown run. That whole drive isn't necessary, doesn't even happen if Colton Beck doesn't make a tremendous play.
Absolutely. That's just total hustle, total heart.
And now the Blacksburg defense will be called on yet again. The official standing over the ball, taking a little bit of time to get play started. 14-6, 11-11 remaining in the game. Blacksburg trying to advance. There was a penalty flag thrown on the play, but the officials are waving it off. So it's 1st and 10. EC Glass from their 26. 3 on the field side, 1 in the boundary. Snap back, handoff to the running back, and he's going to be brought down immediately like he was tripped up by Cole Epperly.
Yeah, Cole sort of sliced in there, was able to get around his feet and knock him down. Not able to get much yardage there.
A solo tackle for young Mr. Epperly. It will be a gain of 1. 2nd and 9. Again, 3 on the field side, 1 in the boundary. 1 running back in the backfield with McCallum, who barks out some instructions to his receivers. Here's a quick pass along the side, a block in the back, not called. And here's the receiver brought down at about the 34-yard line. That was a block in the back, Brad, as obvious as you'll ever see one.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Definitely. They got away with one there. Drew Babcock was ready to make the tackle, and they popped him pretty good.
It's going to bring up 3rd and a long 1. Ball on the near side hash mark. They'll put Twins on either side of the line. 1 running back in the backfield with McCallum. Hand off, straight ahead goes the running back, and he's brought down immediately by, looks like Tim Sawyers, but it is enough to move the chains.
Yeah, Tim Sawyer's in on the tackle there, but as you said, he's able to pick up a yard to be able to move the chains for the Hilltoppers.
14-6, Blacksburg leading. 9:50 remaining in the game. Again, triplets to the near side. Twins this time to the far side, an empty backfield for the quarterback. Man in motion to the far side, handoff on a jet sweep. This is the running back, Justin Barnett, and he'll have a gain of about maybe 3, possibly 4.
Yeah, just sort of done a jet sweep right there. Looks like Cole Beck as well as the inside backer, Cole Epperly, in on the tackle there, but not before he's able to pick up 4 yards. I don't want to give him any more downs, Mark.
No. 2 and then a punt is what I'm hoping for. 3 receivers to the near side, 1 to the far side. McCallum stops the cadence, turns, looks to the side. Now comes set. Steps back. Under pressure, throws, and it's over the head of his intended target. They had blue jerseys bearing down on him, and he had to rush that throw just a little bit.
Good coverage out there on the side by Camden Wise,
who does not get enough credit for the blanket coverage that he usually does from that cornerback position.
Yeah, he's doing a great job.
3rd and 5 from the 43. Snap back, handoff, and the running back breaks free. He'll have 1st down yardage across midfield up to about the 48. Well, just when you thought the pass was coming, EC Glass changes things up. They hand it off, and they move the chains.
Yeah, able to pick up and move, and that's what they're trying to do. We've got to do a better job of making that tackle there.
8:50 remaining in the game. Ball in the middle of the field. 3 receivers close to us, 1 far away. McCallum drops, now throws it long, and it is incomplete. Well covered again by Camden Wise, was the receiver down at about the 15-yard line along the EC Glass sideline.
Yeah, it looked like number 14, Sackett Wood, was the intended receiver there.
2nd and 10, that stops the clock. 8:37 remaining. 14-6, Blacksburg leading. Triplets this time to the far side of the field. A single receiver to the near side of the field. Handoff, and immediately Blacksburg is there to almost get the running back before he even got the ball.
That's a big-time play right there. Number 18, Cole Epperly, comes in on the blitz and makes the initial contact, and then it was Gideon Driscoll finishing it up. That's a big play by this Bruin defense.
3rd and 12. Twins to both sides. Potentially a very big play here. McCallum drops. Rushing 3. Here's Gideon Driscoll. McCallum rolling to his right, rolling, throwing, and it's going to be caught, I think, out of bounds. And the officials call it incomplete.
Incomplete right there. He had pressure coming. Van Gilder as well as Driscoll coming down. It looks like someone is down here.
And we've got an injured Hilltopper.
I believe it's a Hilltopper here on the sideline, on the Bruins sideline.
It is, and the trainers coming across. Jen Armstrong is the trainer for the Hilltoppers. She has made her way along the Bruins sideline. And we'll take a timeout here as the injured player is tended to. 14-6, Blacksburg leading, 8 minutes remaining in the game. Back at Bill Brown Stadium, the injured Hilltopper was Travell Alexander, who is one of the wide receivers and also plays safety. And he was able to go off the field under his own power, always a good sign. 4th and 12, and the Hilltoppers are going to go into punt formation.
Got to be careful here. We got to watch a fake. This is perfect field position for a fake.
Colton Beck stands back at the 15. Here is the kick. It is away. It's toward the sideline. It's going to bounce, and it's going to be inside the 10-yard line, down in between maybe the 9 and the 10.
Good job once again by that Bruin defense. I tell you what, they have been stingy tonight.
They're essentially pitching a shutout, Brad. Just like last week, it was a pick six.
Yep, they have. It is a shutout.
And boy, what a 91-yard drive that eats up time off the clock would do right now for the cause for the Bruins.
Yes, that is exactly right. It's
and a good sign for Blacksburg. Number 6, Tyquest Terry, back on the field. Van Gelder and Ramsey to the far side of the field. Tyquest Terry on the numbers to the near side, back in the backfield. Johnston throws, complete, has it. It is Josh Van Gelder up to the 30.
Great job right there by Van Gelder. Good strike by Grant Johnson. I mean, he put it right on the money.
A 21-yard strike to get Blacksburg out of, they weren't in a deep hole, but anytime you're inside your 10-yard line, that's a little bit of a concern.
Yes, good job right there. I tell you what, Grant put that one right on the money.
Babcock and Van Gelder to the near side. Coffee. And it looks like maybe Camden Wise to the far side of the field. Handoff Colton Beck. Has a little bit of room this time and is able to pick up about 7 yards, one of his better runs of the night.
Well, you know, you just know he's within a shoestring of breaking it, and And sometimes those passes right there, you make a couple of those, it'll open that up.
2nd and 3. Could be a down maybe here, Brad, to go long if the Bruins offensive line can give Grant Johnston some time. Coffey and Wise to the far side. Babcock. And another receiver to the near side. Here's Colton Beck getting the handoff, and they are waiting for him. He's going to lose yardage this time.
Yeah, not a lot of room right there. Looks like he's going to lose about 2 yards. Going to bring up a 3rd and 5.
3rd and 5. The clock under 6:30 remaining in the game. Blacksburg 14. EC Glass 6.
I tell you what, this is a great high school football game right here. It's been a little bit ugly, to be honest, with the turnovers and those types of things. But if you want a football game that's going to keep you on your edge, this one's one of them.
Epperly is outside of Babcock on the near side. 2 receivers to the far side. Grant Johnston rolls to his right. Rolling, still looking, throws. Has a receiver downfield, and it looked like it was Drew Babcock at about the 35 that tried to catch it. And maybe interference could have been called, but no flags, and that brings up 4th down for Blacksburg.
Yeah, it looks like there is a penalty flag back here, but it's an ineligible man downfield, so that's going to – it looks like EC Glass will decline that penalty and will bring up 4th and 5.
Camden Wise will be called on to boot the ball away, and a good punt is needed right now.
Yeah, we need a good snap and a good punt right here.
Nose of the football on the 35. Camden standing at about the 21. Very good snap. Here's the kick. It's away. It's going to get a good roll for Blacksburg. It's going to bounce all the way down to the 15-yard line.
Good job right there. Great snap by Noah Ramsey, and a good job by Camden Wise getting it off. And the turf gods were favorable for us, and we got a good roll right there down to the 15-yard line, as you say. 5:45 and counting here in the 4th quarter. The Bruins up 14-6.
And Blacksburg needs a good punt from Camden Wise. They get a 49-yarder. So Glass takes over. 5:45 remaining. They will start at their 16. Twins to both sides. Single running back in the backfield with McCallum. He takes the snap, drops, has time, fires. Over the head, intercepted by Noah Ramsey at the 32. Inside the 30, 20, 15, stutter stepping, and he's going to be tackled at about the 5-yard line. And the defense comes up big for Blacksburg.
Big time play right there by Noah Ramsey. You know, we talked early in the game, Grant Johnson had thrown deep to Noah Ramsey, and it sort of went through his hands. That one right there makes up for every bit of it. It's a wonderful job. Noah caught it at the highest point that he could. Almost takes it back to pay dirt, but gets it down to the 5-yard line.
And what a golden opportunity lays in front of Blacksburg now to make this a 2-score game. 5:38 remaining. The Bruins have it. 1st and goal from the 5. Hudson and Weaver are the 2 H-backs. Beck to the right has the handoff, dancing. The pile moves forward. It's a scrum. The line keeps moving. Let's see. Blacksburg's going to be down to about the 1.
It's good extra effort right there. Colton just kept pumping those legs, and then it looked like his lineman got in and helped him just a little bit more.
19, 2 and 19.
2nd and goal from the 1. 5:15 remaining in the game. Blacksburg leading 14-6. And a touchdown here would be beyond huge. Snap. Back. Handoff. Beck. Bounces his way into the end zone for the touchdown. Colton Beck from the yard out. It's 20-6 Blacksburg.
Great job right there. Once again, the defense sets up that particular play and that particular score. That's big time here for these Bruins.
4:50 remaining. Blacksburg leading 20-6.
I tell you what, that's good hard running right there by Colton Beck. I mean, he just wasn't going to be denied, and you got to give credit to the offensive line and getting a surge in there to help him out as well.
Blacksburg takes advantage of the Noah Ramsey interception and gets into the end zone. The extra point is good as well, and Blacksburg takes the lead to 21-6, 4:50 remaining in the game. You're listening to Blacksburg Bruins Playoffs Football on Mix 100.7.
My name is Frankie Mentor. I've been with BT for approximately 1 year now. Blacksburg Transit is the ideal job for any student because we are very willing to work with everyone's schedule. The pay rate is better than anything else you're going to find in and around campus. The training department is excellent here. You go through very in-depth training. It's a lot of fun. The people here are great. Like I said, the training staff is awesome. Everybody that works here that I know is just awesome. With Blacksburg Transit being such a large part of the infrastructure and for the town and for Virginia Tech, it feels good to be part of something that makes you feel like you're making a difference. I think students who drive a bus during their college career, I feel like will look back on the memories that they experienced during driving a bus and smile on them, you know.
A 1-yard Colton Beck touchdown run following the interception by Ramsey gives Blacksburg a little bit of breathing room at 21-6 with 4:50 remaining in the game. And here is the kickoff by Camden Wise. And the returner looked like he had his foot on the goal line, but there was no call. And he is going to get across the 35 and across the 40 up to the 41. It looked like his back foot was on the goal line from here, Brad.
Yeah, I mean, that's real surprising to me. I mean, it looked to me like he was in the end zone. And normally that's a touchback, but maybe it's where the ball is located. I'm not 100% sure on that. Big time return though for EC Glass. They're not going away quietly here.
That gives them field position at the Blacksburg. Check that, at the Highlander. I'll get it right eventually. The Hilltoppers, 41. Triplets to the far side. Single receiver to the near side. McCallum. Straight drop, has a little bit of time, now in trouble, rolls to his right. He's just going to run out of bounds along the Blacksburg sideline. He'll pick up maybe a yard or so.
I tell you what, Cole Epperly came on that scrape right there, and he absolutely just lit someone up there on that offensive front on his way to get the quarterback. But, whew, what a hit.
Got a little bit of Amy Epperly.
Well, I tell you what, I wrote him a little note this morning. I told him to play fast and play angry, and that one right there was an angry hit.
He checked both of those boxes on that particular play. Triplets to the far side, single receiver near side, a single running back. McCallum, straight drop, has time, throws, has his receiver. Enough for the first down. It's complete to Drayshawn Kendrick, and the chains will move. Will be spotted at about the 47 of Blacksburg. Well, you certainly don't want to give up a score here, Brad, but if you do, you'd like to make EC Glass evaporate as much time off the clock as possible.
That's exactly right.
Twins this time on both sides. In motion to the near side is Kendrick. Here's McCallum throwing, and he's got his target. Looks like that is big number 14, Sackett Wood, for a gain of 9.
Yeah, looks like he's able to pick up almost a first down. Looked like Epperly as well as Beck in on the tackle.
And the long kickoff return is paying some dividends right now for the Hilltoppers. Triplets to the far side, a single receiver. Check that to the near side, single receiver to the far side. The running back shifts from the left to the right of McCallum. McCallum, and want to set up a screen, and they do. It is complete to Patterson. He sheds the first tackle, sheds the second one, almost. It is Josh Van Gelder bringing him down, but not till he gets down to the 23.
Yeah, I mean, that's a pretty good play call right there by EC Glass. You know, Blacksburg's been bringing some pressure, and they just sort of set it up with the screen pass.
They are a very well-coached team, Brad. There is no question about that. Triplets to the near side. Single receiver far side. Snap back. McCallum has some time. Throws. Guns it over the middle. Intercepted by Drew Babcock at the 15-yard line.
I tell you what, I think it was Gideon Driscoll that got the tip on that particular ball. And right there is Drew Babcock, right where he needs to be, falls right in his hands for an interception. And once again, that defense comes up huge for this Blacksburg football team.
3:22 remaining in the game. Blacksburg will take over at their own 15.
Wow. What a great job right there.
What a high school football game this has been, Brad. This has just been a terrific game.
Well, you know
sloppy, but terrific.
Yeah, but you know what's impressive? I mean, it just seems like this defensive group, they're just at the right place at the right time almost every play.
Double H-back set, Weaver and Hudson. Hand off to Colton Beck, and he burrows his way ahead. He'll have maybe a yard. Tough sledding tonight for Colton Beck.
Yeah, it has been tough sledding, but you know, we've done what we needed to do to be able to put some points on the board. It hasn't been pretty. We've had 4 turnovers in the game, and you know, some of those turnovers was deep in their territory. But you know what? Great teams find a way to win when they're not at their best. And while this game's not over with yet, our guys have done quite well on the scoreboard right now and have not played very well.
Again, a double H-back set. Blacksburg tried to get the snap off quickly, and the Bruins call timeout with 2:42 remaining in the game. Well, Brad, they say defense wins championships. Last week, Blacksburg's defense was absolutely sensational. If anything, they've risen to the occasion. They've been even better tonight.
Oh, I think so. I mean, they're playing a better football team tonight, and many more athletes on that sideline over there of EC Glass. Not knocking Jefferson Forest because they have a good football team as well, but EC Glass is impressive, and this defense has done a tremendous job. You know, they've bended a little bit, but you know, when their backs were against the wall, they found a way to get it done, and that's what they've been able to do here.
EC Glass started off 7-1, then they stumbled a little bit towards the end of the regular season. They dropped their last 2. They were, if you recall, they were ahead of Blacksburg in the points.
Right.
Until the last 2 weeks of the season, LCA dropped them.
You know, we talked about the defense. One thing I do want to mention is just the play of the defensive line. You know, Chase Orndorff, Gideon Driscoll, Tim Sawyers, they have done a tremendous job. You know, we've had that 3-4 front going and done a good job and have opened some things up for the backers to be able to get to the ball.
2nd and 9. Here's Grant Johnston on a design quarterback keeper, and he picks up pretty good yardage. He'll be over the 20, up to about the 22 for a gain of 6.
Yeah, and you had to think that was coming sooner or later because they have keyed so much on Colton Beck. Obviously, I don't know that we want to do it a whole lot because you know, you don't want to take the risk of getting Grant injured or anything along those lines.
3rd and 3, 2:15 remaining, and a first down here would work wonders for Blacksburg.
Grant doing a great job of watching the play clock here and letting it tick all the way down.
Handoff, Colton Beck burrows ahead, and he keeps going. He's going to be up over the 25, and that will be a Fisher Law Firm first down. That's huge.
That is a huge play right there. And I tell you, you know, Colton has just been like I said, a shoestring away from breaking it. And you never know, before this one's over with, he still might break one.
Needed 3, got 4. The clock running now after the first down marker is moved. 1:45 remaining. Blacksburg leading 21-6. A fresh set of downs. 1st and 10 from the 26. End off Colton Beck. Burrows his way ahead over the 30. Still fighting. Legs churning. They can't bring him down. Finally they do up at the 32-yard line. 6 tough running yards for Colton Beck. He's running like a fullback now.
Good hard runs right there. You know, I tell you, Colton Beck, he wants it. He wants to break that one, and he almost had it right there.
And we have a timeout called by EC Glass. 1:23 remaining in the game.
I tell you what, I just think it's impressive to play, quite honestly, as poorly as we have from a turnover standpoint and be winning this game 21-6. It just says a lot for this team and finding a way to get things done when they need to.
I don't know if we have a score update or not, but you don't want to start looking ahead just yet, but
yeah,
it could be.
It's definitely going to be Blacksburg and Salem playing each other.
Blacksburg-Salem 2.0 here at Bill Brown Stadium next Friday night.
Salem beats GW Danville 42-13. So it's definitely going to be a big game. It's going to be a rematch of the regular season, and we knew that was coming. We knew the possibility was there. We still got 1:27 to get through here before we confirm that, but it's looking more and more in that direction.
Here's the snap back, handoff. Colton Beck has a block. Colton Beck breaks free over the 40, over the 45, skips out of bounds at about the 47-yard line. Another Fisher Law Firm first down.
That was close right there. He almost broke that one, and but once again, you got to give credit to that Hilltopper defense. They have done a really good job of containment and using their athletes in the direction that they need to.
1:22 remaining. The clock will stop until the snap. Double H-back set again with Weaver and Hudson. Handoff back, straight ahead over the midfield stripe into EC Glass territory. And we're going to have a timeout called by Blacksburg. Well, it's not quite take a knee time, Brad, but it's getting close.
It is. It's getting very close, and 2nd and 7 here, 1:16 to go.
Well, when you're a high school football player, Brad, the one thing you'd like to be able to say is we had to practice on Thanksgiving.
No, absolutely. You know that if you are practicing on Thanksgiving, you've had a very good season.
And Blacksburg is 76 seconds away from having to do just that.
Yeah, they did last year too. That would be awful good for this football team here. Because we started 5-5 in
2nd and 7. The ball is just beyond the midfield stripe into EC Glass territory. Double H back set again. Again, it's Colton Beck, and he's going to be stopped right about the line of scrimmage. The ball pops loose, but Colton was most definitely down. And more importantly, he stayed in bounds.
Yeah, and the clock's going to continue to spin right here. Brings up 3rd down.
Under a minute. 3rd and 7. And the Bruins are starting to congratulate each other. They're going to run this clock down as much as they can before the next play.
Yeah, you got 10 seconds on the play clock, and Grant Johnson's doing a good job of managing it here.
Another handoff to Colton Beck. He goes down after a gain of about 1. 28 seconds left on the clock, and it's now academic.
That is going to be the game right here.
Blacksburg is moving on to the 3rd round of the Class 4 Region D playoffs after a very hard-earned 21-6 win over a very well-coached, very good EC Glass Hilltoppers team out of the Seminole District.
You know, I tell you, Mark, everyone talked about when Blacksburg gets into the 4A, it's a different ball game for them. They're not going to be able to compete and those types of things. And I tell you what, these young men and this coaching staff is showing right now that they can compete, and they're going to do everything they can to repeat.
Blacksburg wins it by the score of 21-6 here at Bill Brown Stadium, and the season continues for the Blacksburg Bruins in 2017.